Guys, please call me Stingy T. I just refuse. I refuse to pay so much when I can make it. I can literally make this for less than 50 bucks. I swear to you, less than 50 bucks and a bit of time, you've got this down. So, hey guys, my name is Tando and thank you so much for tuning in again to this week's upload of my latest YouTube video of me making myself a garland, a beaded garland, which has been everywhere on your boho decor or your farmhouse decor. It's just one of those items that are placed anywhere around your house, around your flower areas, your bathrooms, your coffee table, your coffee stations, pretty much anywhere where you can just toss it and make it look pretty. This is what it's for. So I did look around online for a couple of designs and a couple of styles that they were doing. I did like the whitewashed neutral beads that they have on a couple of sites, especially Pinterest. If you just follow and you search beaded garland or wood bead garland, you will find a couple of ideas that you can follow. I bought one size just to save on some cash, and I decided to buy a suede to string my beads on. The beads charged up 42 rand and the suede string was literally 2 rand, so I spent 45 rand for this bead garland. And I had some leftover string from when I was doing my daughter's birthday party ribbon garland actually. So that's the white and gold piece that I'm going to be reusing for this particular DIY. Stay tuned. You guys, I could have made 2 of these garlands with the beads that I purchased from the bead shop in Melville and still wouldn't have spent as much as 300 rand on a piece of item that I was probably going to phase out with the next fashion look that comes in and the next trend. So I wanted to fit in with the trend. I wanted to also, catch the wave, but I didn't want to waste my money on something that I probably wasn't going to be keeping long term, just depending on how I feel about it later on in time. So it's not that painstaking a DIY to do. It literally took me like 7 minutes to put together. The only thing that did take some time was the end part of the garland itself, was making the garland tassel, attaching it and trying to fit it securely in so that it doesn't slip off or slip out or the beads fall out. So what I did here was add beads up till where I was satisfied with the length of my garland. And once I got to that point, I stopped. And then because I wanted to make an extra bit of an exciting piece or end to my garland, I decided to add a little bit more color, which would be black, the matte black that I did previously purchase for a different DIY. I still have quite a lot of those 75ml tube paints that I bought from the Crazy store. That they cost around 30 rand. I think it was 29 rand 95 that I did buy from the Crazy store. So for this to go as smoothly as possible and without me making much of a mess, I did cover my surface to protect my table, and I also used a kebab stick, which actually fits the beads perfectly. They just loom through without any hassles or problems. I dolloped a bit of the black acrylic paint onto my plastic, and yes, the cheapo in me refuses to buy another brush, so I reused my broken brush that broke off in a DIY I was doing previously. So I did cover a good amount of the black paint and allowed it to dry on the 2 beads that I put and loomed over the kebab stick. So once these were all covered in the black paint, I allowed them to dry. It didn't take long. It took about 5 minutes to dry because it was a very thin layer of paint that I had added onto the beads themselves. And whilst they were drying, I was cutting a piece of cardboard so that I could put together my tassel for the end of the garland piece. So to make the tassel, I roughly cut a square of cardboard that I had just lying around the house. And then you're just gonna go over the cardboard with your string. I just kept circling through until I was satisfied. I actually pretty much almost finished this bit of string because I wanted it to be a really big piece of tassel at the end. And then once I was done, or when I got to the level that I was happy with, I pulled the rest of the string through to tie up at the top of the cardboard piece. It was a bit difficult, but I did tie it on the side and then shifted it up towards the end of the cardboard piece. And once that was done, I was then able to cut the other end, but still securing this in place so it doesn't fall apart and fall all over the place. And once that was done, once the cutting of the garland itself was done, I secured it tightly to the end of the white string. So now guys, the biggest struggle for me definitely was to try attach this tassel to the now created garland, which now have two separate strings that I'm working with. I've got the gold threaded white string and the suede string that is keeping the garland together. In attempting for a neater look, I did cut and trim the ends of my tassel just so that they'd be even in size and that it wouldn't fray out too much and just be all around untidy. Once the beads were dry, then I decided to attach them by initially just tying up the end of that suede string just to have a completed all-around garland, and then adding on the extra 2 black pieces of beads onto like a single strand, now not making 2 pieces or 2 separate pieces. And then from those, then I would have been attaching the garland thread. So I'd really say the kebab stick pulled through for me on this one, because I saw no other way to try fit the tassel onto the garland without taking some stuff apart. But it actually did work out eventually in the end, where I probed through the white string with the kebab stick and all the way through to the other pieces of string, and then tied it up, and it worked out, guys. So yeah, take a look. So once all my string was successfully through the holes, I was able to then secure it by tying it. I made a double knot and secured it in place, and then I also tied the suede just to shorten that and neaten everything up. Once I was done tying everything, I did cut and get a neater look, and this was my garland, guys, all done. a little bit of last minute neatening and me just trying to bring the tassel in and to form one piece. I don't know if it worked out or not, but yeah, I was just about done. I hope you can see the gold details on the tassel itself, and this is my final product, guys. So that's it for me, guys. Thank you so much again for watching. Please do like, share, and subscribe. Bye.